Got Morehead State this week. I think the thing that's intriguing about this game is I looked at their two deep. They got 18 players and they're two deep from Ohio, so they'll obviously be excited to come here and play. Be a great environment for them. They had a tough start last week. I think the significant difference in that football game for them was they had 3 turnovers. Pikeville had 0. So I'm sure they'll be working on that to get that corrected. They run an up-tempo offense. I like to go fast. They had a total of 85 plays last week, so they do like to go fast as far as that goes. Similar to Dayton, probably try to go faster than Dayton though when it's all said and done. So that's something that we've been preparing for during camp, and then obviously this week too in practice, which is a little bit different than what we see normally from us. Defensively, they're basically a 4-man front. Got a pretty good safety, very active players there, 2 kids in particular. And I think the thing is we need to come out and make sure we're ready to play. These guys will be ready to play, being the fact that there's so many kids from Ohio coming back here to the state of Ohio to play.
How does their change in tempo change your change in tempo? Like you said, it's a little different look at practice now.
The thing is all of our calls we call on the field, and we really don't huddle on defense anyways, so it's not that big a deal. We do some up-tempo on offense during the course of camp, but we've also put more emphasis on it this training camp because of the fact that you read so much across the country. Teams like Oregon, Cal last week had 99 plays. So that's something you got to constantly be conscious of. What it does is it shortens your verbiage down, and you have 4 or 5 calls that you are automatically built in based on what they're doing, and we've been practicing it, so we feel good about it.
Coach, you have a smart football team. They know this team lost at home to an NAIA school. How do you keep,
Well, we got to play better. Last week, I thought defensively we did some good things. Special teams, we did some good things, other than the punt return fair catch there, and some of that was probably the punter spraying the ball and us getting all over Stubbsy about letting the ball hit the ground. But I think we still got some things we need to work on. And when you look at the conference, what the conference has done this past week, you have to really focus on getting better every week. And that's one of our fundamentals for success, and we need to improve on some things. We were really disappointed at some things we did on offense last week that can't happen. I mean, at the end of the day, it cannot happen.
As far as Kurt's performance, not one of his greatest performances, was there something on tape, or was it just a?
I think it was probably, he would probably agree with you, probably more fundamentals than anything. Footwork, not getting his shoulders aligned with where he's throwing, some simple things like that, maybe pressing a little bit, but those are all correctable things, and we expect him to come out and play better.
Was some of that receivers not on the same page?
There was one specific play on the sideline there where he threw it to no one, but we were supposed to run a corner route there. We run some routes obviously based on coverage, and Kurt read one coverage and the receiver read a different coverage, but I think we got that ironed out.
You said you need to make improvements, and all coaches say that after the first game. What specifically is at the top of your list?
Turnovers. I don't like to see the ball turned over. We can't have turnovers and win football games. We saw last October what happens when we turn the football over, and we got to take care of the football. I mean, that's something. I know Martin had a fumble there late in the game as a freshman. Bellamy got the ball jarred out one time. We recovered that. The 2 interceptions there. So you got to take care of the football, and it's something that we've been stressing. We've stressed all the time, ball security, and we need to come out and take care of the football.
Bellamy 200 yards, and he's listed behind Torian on the depth chart.
Yeah, we got to keep working with all those guys. We don't have no particular order. It's kind of who's ready to go, but hopefully we can get Damon Himes back here at some point, get him in the ball game. Get him some action, get Jody Webb some action. But, we're going to go with who has the best week of practice. And really the starters, the decision's made more towards game day. The week of preparation, as of today, you list a starter, but during the course of the week, sometimes who has the best practice will get the starting nod.
How close is Himes to come back?
He's fairly close. It's not a for sure done deal yet. So I expect him to be back, but it's still early yet.
Coach, as far as the running backs go, starting can't really be that big a deal with this team because of the number of backs that you have.
It's not an ego thing. I think we've stressed that enough with our team. We've got a bunch of guys, and they're kind of all unique in their own way. You've got some guys that are more of your inside runners, your pounders. Then you've got some guys that are more of a perimeter type guy that have more of the speed and outside perimeter run. But we have a good group of backs. I just look forward to getting them all back in there and getting them back healthy and taking care of the football. And ball security will always be a premium.
What do you make of Ruiz's first performance on Thursday?
Martin, I expected him to play well. I was disappointed in the fumble. There was probably a kickoff return that he could have, if he could make the kicker miss, it would probably be a touchdown. So he saw that on film, and I think as a freshman he'll learn from that. But Martin Ruiz has got a chance to be a good football player. Did some good things. He's physical, runs square, runs low to the ground. Just got to take care of the football.
You ran 64 plays. How much of your offensive repertoire or playbook did you really show?
Not very much. We just try to keep it simple, as far as doing things that we can do. And, when you still have some tackles for a loss, then you're obviously not doing some of your little things that you want to do correctly. So when we can, as we progress, if we can show that we can execute some of these simple things at a high level, we'll start adding ball plays. But till then, we're going to keep it simple and do the things that are some of our core plays we believe in.
Have you talked to Peterman? What's his status down the road since some of that was cleared up last week?
We reinstated him on Saturday. I told the team and gave him an opportunity to come back, and obviously, the legal process took care of itself. He's coming back really fast as far as his rehab and those type of things. As far as a first date for him to be able to play, I don't know. My initial thought is we're not going to rush it. I would say conference play would probably be the safest bet, because I don't want to put him back out there and get re-injured and miss 4 or 5 conference games.
Coach, can you talk about Christian? I mean, he took a big hit in that game, didn't return. What's his status?
He'll be back. He's playing. He practiced yesterday. He's still a little bit sore. Took a shot there in the ribs. Pretty good shot by that kid. But he'll be fine. That was a big play. Big catch for him. It's just unfortunate that it was 3rd and 26 because of one of our silly penalties. But he'll be back. He's fine. He's good to go.
Coach, to what degree do you get any sense that the fact that this was not a comparable opponent in terms of division, that maybe there was a focus issue, and to what degree is the performance the team had changed their focus this week?
Well, I think I made the point clear after the game that it's not acceptable to go out there and play like that, specifically on offense. We took a 14, 15 play drive, drove it right down the field, executed the way I expect us to execute, and then kind of floundered some other opportunities. And the plays were there, but we floundered them. And I think that was a good lesson because, if we want to have success in the future, it's not a matter of who we play. We have to go out and execute. And football is about execution. And we didn't do a very good job of executing at some key times in that game, and that's why it ended up being a close football game. Our defense played well, bailed us out, quite frankly. Defense played pretty well other than losing contain a couple times.
You talked about certain running backs, it depends on what situation you're in. How do you avoid tipping your hand? Here's pace, they're going to run between the tackles.
Or they might play action and throw over your head. Follow me? So sometimes I want them to think that we're running inside and running the ISO or a lead play and then leak the tight end, behind the fullback there or leak the fullback out. So, that's part of the gamesmanship and just building your offense as you go. But, Torian can run outside. Bellamy can run outside, and so can some of those other guys too. But I really like the physical presence of Bellamy and Pace as far as over the course of a game. I think they can wear you out a little bit in the secondary and at linebacker because you get tired of tackling those guys.
And my other question for you was Friday, you're in a tough situation. Kansas State, North Dakota State. You're hard against your conference. Who did you root for?
That was a good question there. I was pulling for Coach Coleman, obviously, because him and I played together, and my relationship with Kansas State. At the same time, I was very impressed with North Dakota State's play there late in the game, putting it away. They didn't flinch. They looked like they'd been there before. The game was not a surprise to me, though. I knew that North Dakota State had a good team coming back. Kansas State had some questions coming back as far as losing a lot of guys and a lot of starters and stuff. But, you know, that was a good football game all the way to the end.
Coach, nice to see the defense with a big goal line stand there. Can that propel confidence going forward?
I think we're playing with a lot more confidence. You know, Travis Williams is a guy that I didn't recognize after the game, but when you go back and watch film, boy, he was electric. You know, he made a lot of plays, did a lot of good things for us. He was coming free on some of those blitzes in there, and you know, Travis Williams is a junior. He's played a lot of games here, and that's kind of what we expect him. Tevin Williams had some big time hits, big time tackles, had a real physical presence in there, and I thought our defensive line played physical. You know, they were very active and physical and moving around, and you know, I like I said before, I think we have a chance to be pretty good on that side of the ball.
Would you like to see on your non-conference schedule like a top 25 FCS program to maybe, especially in the years that you might have 3 home games?
I like the money games, preferably. I like when you can get those big paychecks. That's probably the ideal situation. You know, if you can get someone to pay you a lot of money to come and play them, that obviously pays a lot of bills. But that doesn't, I don't know, I've never thought about that, quite frankly. I'm just kind of gotten used to playing a Big Ten or a Pittsburgh or, you know, a team like that. And it's a unique experience for our kids to have opportunities to go and play in those arenas. You know, that gives us something to recruit to. For example, we play at Illinois next year, you know. That gives us a chance to talk about that with those kids. The potential of, you know, I don't know what's happening with the Ohio State game. It might be Pitt now. I mean, so who knows how that's going to play out. But those are things that we use in recruiting, and all the schools at our level use those games as opportunities to recruit. You know, Southern Illinois, I'm sure they talked a lot about having the opportunity to go and play at Illinois. I mean, that's a big deal to those kids, and their parents get to go and see that arena and see those games. And you know, North Dakota State, their fans get a chance to go and see Bill Snyder Stadium and get a chance to see that environment. I mean, that's kind of unique and a unique experience you probably don't always get.
Coach, a lot of teams are doing that twice. Northern Iowa did it last year. Indiana State's doing it this last week and this week.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of those enough, or would you be inclined to go to 2? Or
You know, I think it comes down to the money. You know, we don't like to give up a home game necessarily because of the fact if we stay with 12 games, I don't think it would be an issue because we like to have X amount of home games here for our fans. You know, our fans don't get to travel because of our road schedule and where all of our road games are at. But at the same time, you know, I'm not opposed to playing another BCS team if you can get the money where it's economically feasible and pay some more bills.